There we go. There we go. Yes, it's Friday. I know, it's Freaky Friday. It's that day of the week that I certainly aim for. It's the night when we can get our woo on. Can you handle the woo? Because me and Scott Lopez, oh boy, have we got it for you. There we go. We're back. We're live. Scotty will be with me for Freaky Friday. Don't panic, folks. But yesterday, I took a day off. I kind of cheated, right? Didn't I? Didn't I? Because before our show yesterday, we had the premiere of Lon Strickler. And did that take Woo to the next level? I tell you, that guy, he has got it all going on. And I'm going to have Lon on as a regular guest on the Kev Baker Show. We're also going to be hearing from him once a month over on Warrior Mode as well. So the Woo, it's going up a level, folks. It really, really is. And myself and Scott, we will deliver you some really good stuff on Freaky Friday right after this stream. Now, there's going to be an update on a story that I done on one of the streams the other day. It's good woo. It's webbot woo, and we'll get back into that. And we're going to take a deep dive into the weirdest mysteries, the highest of strangeness. And where we go, not even me and Scott know, because apart from a couple of articles to get us going, a couple of topics to get the juices flowing, we never know where we're going. That's why I want to give a big shout out to my friend Jason. Poor Jason, he is poorly sick right now. And from me and my family to you down there, brother, I hope you get well really, really soon. Jason, oh wow, he knocked out the park last week, right? So it's going to be hard to kind of top that. I get it. But I'm sure myself and Scott will give it a go. And I've got some brilliant stuff to warm us up for Freaky Friday. And a big shout out to the Gherkins. Yes, the Gherkins. Anne always laughs when I say the Gherkins. They called themselves the Gherkins. I never started it. It was even funnier when I forgot what they called themselves and I called them the Gerbils. Luckily, they never fell out with me. And always sending me great links. And when I seen the headline of the link that Karen had sent me today, and people are going dizzy in the chat room, they're seeing two chats there. Yeah, as soon as I seen the headline, I took a look at the top story on it and I thought, right, that's going to do. So we're going to take a look at the 10 scariest underground discoveries. And that's kind of synchronistic because Jason, apart from being a paranormal researcher, he has turned his hand now to urban exploration, or more accurately, exploring the hidden underground worlds that exist beneath most UK cities, locations, across Europe. Really, when you think about it, we've got a long history, and over time we've built up, and the layers have gone up, and that's left all of this stuff down below for people like Jason to go and explore. And today I'm going to take you on a little tour of some underground mysteries. But before we get there, it wouldn't be a KBS stream if I didn't give credit to the main people on the stream. Yes, that's you. And it's not said for effect. There's only 31 of us here. I pretty much know each and every one of you, not personally, but we're getting to know each other more and more over time. If you want to be an even bigger part of what we have going on here, what you see on YouTube has actually become almost like the icing on the cake, because we've got our Discord server. And everyone's got a Discord server these days. It doesn't mean we're anything special. It's the way we're going. And you'll find that if you join the Discord, totally free, it's like a chat room / video room / disco. Literally a disco with music. Sometimes you get to see me playing games. ZX81 would have been ripping his hair out today because he's like so much further ahead in No Man's Sky than I am. But listen, if you want somewhere to hang out, there's always somebody to talk to. I don't know, maybe you live alone. Maybe you're just, at a loose end. Please, please, please consider coming over to the disco. Now, we've only got one rule. Just don't be a douche canoe and you won't get kicked out. Okay? So I think that's a pretty fair rule. Anything really goes within reason. You know I do have some topics that I really don't get into. But with that said, don't let me waste any more of your time. Let's get into the chat room. So, Connie, ZX. Yes, Connie, I know. I felt bad yesterday for kind of cheating by putting on the premiere instead of a live stream. And to be honest with you, I love live streaming. I love it. I don't know. Didn't think I would when I first started going on uni's live stream. For somebody that goes on the radio all the time, you'd think the nerves wouldn't be there. But it was horrendous. And I thought, well, I'll try my hand at it. And I tell you what, it's so addictive. It really, really is. So ZX has dropped the link for our disco in there. If I was making enough money, I think I would have to pay him, Polynation, probably Algo, the Wookiee, Jules, everyone, Lisa, everyone that helps out over on the disco. I probably missed people out there. Don't be offended. Please don't be offended. Nothing deliberate, just for brevity. We need to get on with this. And I can talk for Scotland, right? You know that. So, we've got Tiffany in there. We have got Leslie, the Wookiee, Connie, King. All rise, His Majesty, the King. We've got Luna. G'day, Luna. I'm getting better at my Australian accent. Come on, I am getting better at the Australian accent. I think I am. Bruce said I am. Is that IB or LB? Either way, good to see you. We've got Donnie. Donnie, last night was, I think, the first time I've really admitted to Donnie something that I've shared. I think it was with Mammoth after one of the first shows we done down under. This is going to sound weird. It means nothing, okay? But I'm just going to lay it out there. It's as if I know Donnie. I know. Well, Kev, you've done streams with him. Of course you know him. No, not like that. Not like that. It's as if I know Donnie. Now, I've got no idea. It makes me get goosebumps even when I'm talking about this. It's the weirdest feeling I've ever had. I don't know. Maybe past life, something like that. I don't know, man. But it's just something so familiar. But anyway, see how I can get distracted. That being said, we have got Cheryl in there as well. Somebody that's local. Big shout out to our local contingent here. All the way from Australia to Glasgow, we've got listeners, Dang, dude. So we've got John Wilson, or Nelson even. John Wilson? That was the name of my dad. Where the hell did I get that from? So we've got John Nelson, definitely not my dad. Toxic Crusader, how you doing, man? We've got Rorschach, Mad, and Rorsch, you sent a brilliant video today. Lex Friedman, I think his name is. He's the guy that does all the great science podcasts. He really is. He goes on Joe Rogan's as well. And Joe Rogan is going to be coming up in conversation later on Freaky Friday, just to let you know. We've got Rose. She said, where's Scotty? I can tell you right now, Scotty is away to get something to eat. He is checked in. We've been sharing videos back and forth. I found that video that I was looking for after the show last night. Remember the crazy, crazy video? If you were in Discord, you probably waited around for 5 minutes watching me trying and failing to find a funny video. I found it. Oh, I found it. We'll watch it over on Discord over the weekend or something, okay? But moving on, we've got Brian in there as well. Good. Big shout out to you, Brian. He didn't even know it was Friday today. I tell you, you're having a good week when you lose track of the days. That's all I can say. And talking of days, it's Blue Days. I didn't even mean that. That was awesome. Rick Anderson as well. My bootneck friend. Yes, we've got the Wookiee. He was counting me down. And I seen him going 3, 2, 1. And I was just about to go live. And I thought, well, sod you, Wookiee. I'm not going to make you think that you're the boss around here. I'm only joking. Wookiee, I owe you a good slapping anyway. My time, I've got no time left to myself thanks to you and After Effects. I blame you for it entirely. And as you can see, folks, we're playing about with the intros and I'm doing lots of graphics. And listen, I'm loving having something to take my focus off the world right now. Doing shows day in, day out, it can get monotonous. It can get tiring. But having the kind of graphics to play around with, it's given me a new breath of life. It really has. It's brilliant. So Wookie, I thank you for that, man. Pollination. Wow. Talk about an interesting conversation I listened to last night. Check out Algorithm, his channel. Him and Polly were talking over there. They were getting into quantum, they were getting into science, they were getting into math, they were getting into all sorts of stuff. I was intending to try and wind down when I was listening to it, but I ended up engrossed. Lurk mode. Had to leave before the end, but great work, guys. So please check that out, folks. We've got Jules was the first in the chat today. Brian, I think I mentioned that. And yeah, Wookie. I'm not sure if he's released the video with Luna just yet. But Adrian, how you doing, brother? I'm pretty sure that is that Adrian as in Armand. Is that you, Armand? Tell me it's you. Marty. See, I'm glad I took my time reading out the names, or I'd have missed Marty out. Probably missed a few, but hey, we can get back to that, right? And you've got me for like another 4 hours, because right after this, we go into Freaky Friday. And I tell you, we're going to be dialing up that woo. So to get you in the mood, how about we take a look at 10 of the scariest discoveries made underground. It's really cool because we're starting in Scotland. Yes, we are. Not Glasgow, unfortunately. Although I do believe there are underground segments here. And I'm not talking about the subway. You smart bums out there. And we're going to try and pull me up for that. No, but Edinburgh. Edinburgh is almost infamous for its underworld. And of course, Edinburgh is the home to the world famous, the very haunted Edinburgh Vaults. So this is our first one, number 10. The Edinburgh Vaults. It is said that there are very few places in the world as haunted as Edinburgh's vaults. They were dark and grungy places full of thieves and murderers. It was one of the most dangerous places in the city, and based on many reports, it seems that their ghosts are still around. My mum's been down there. Believe it or not, I've actually not been there. I've seen many a paranormal investigation. You've got some of the teams from America. They come over to investigate this place. I think I've seen the TAPS team investigating there. We've had Most Haunted. They've been there a couple of times. Folks, it's like, it's got everything you want in a haunted location. I mean, look at it. It's got that dark, kind of grimy, horrible, oldie-worldy look to it. You've got like these things like crazy old dungeon prison doors or something. And of course, some of the actual vaults are set up in the period of the time, which for some reason I think adds to the woo factor. When you see these mannequins that are dressed in traditional clothing of that time. And I remember one of the investigations I watched, I would be lying if I said what team it was. But, and do you remember the one where there was the rocking chair? Oh, shh. We might hear Anne snoring in a minute. She's fallen asleep. So if Anne starts snoring, I'll turn up the mic so that it can pick her up. Will I do that? Could you joking? Do you think I want a shoe in my head? Hell no. I'd rather spend the night in the Edinburgh dungeons than turn up Anne snoring. So no, we're not going to get Anne snoring. Maybe. I don't know. She's catching flies right now. I would show you, but okay, I've been caught. Okay, moving on. Moving on. So that's number 10. Personally, I think this should have been higher up the list. Now, really, I'm lying because this was the only one I looked at. I wanted to keep it kind of fresh for when we done this today. As soon as I seen it this morning, this afternoon, whenever it was, I finally got up and checked my messages. I thought that'll do just perfectly. So number 9, let's move on. A morbid keepsake. Now, holy shimoly, but that definitely looks a little bit photoshopped. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, now, I'm sorry, but it looks a little bit photoshopped. But it says here, In 2014, archaeologists with France's National Institute for Preventative Archaeological Research discovered 5 embalmed human hearts in heart-shaped lead urns buried in a cemetery in the northwestern city of Rennes. 5 embalmed human hearts in heart-shaped lead urns. What on earth is that all about? That's a strange one, right? I've never heard of anything like that before. Might be worth digging deeper when we go on to Freaky Friday. Now, we've got no idea what this bloody thing is here, but it definitely looks photoshopped, right? Right? In fact, that whole scene looks photoshopped. It looks like something I would actually make. It looks like somebody's taken the sand and put it into the picture there. So it says, cursed money. Number 8. In August the 11th, I'm taking this the month. Oh, that's the heart-shaped container for the heart there that we just seen. So on August the 11th, an unemployed 50-year-old carpenter named Wayne Sabaj discovered $150,000 in cash in the garden of his Illinois home while picking broccoli. Nice. Well, that's an understatement if ever I heard one. But of course, there's a catch. Somehow his neighbour found out about it. Maybe he told her. And Sabaj's neighbour, Dolores Johnson, was an 87-year-old woman with dementia. There's a catch. Somehow his neighbour found out about it. Did he have to give it to her? Did she bury it in the garden and forget about it? Dementia is a horrible, horrible thing. That's one of my biggest fears, you know, when I get older. That would be horrible. Forgetting people, forgetting everything. I struggle to remember some of the shows I've done in the week that's gone by. I think it's coming my way. I really do. Now, number 7 looks like it refers to this, but I ain't buying that. Because, talk about woo, you ready? This one definitely deserves a... You ready? You ready? A unicorn's lair. A lair of unicorns, Kev says? Yeah, a unicorn's lair. North Korea's primary media outlet. Hey, Mario. That's what she sounds like, right? Come on, admit it. That's what she sounds like. It's not culturally inappropriate. And anyway, it's North Korea. It's not like they care about any of us. So the Korean Central News Agency reported back in 2012 that archaeologists had reconfirmed the existence of a unicorn's lair. Now, reportedly, the unicorn lair had been found 656 feet, 200 meters from a temple in Pyongyang, the capital city. Now, the fabled lair allegedly once belonged to a unicorn ridden by the ancient king Tong Myong. Go figure. That sounds like a claim that's right up there with Kim Jong-un finishing an 18-round course or round of golf in 19 shots. It sounds like a bit of a bold claim to me. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I tell you what, I've never heard about that before. North Korea, unicorns, and somebody that used to write about on one. Who do you think is Scottish? Listen, pal, we've got the unicorns here. You've got your own stuff. Whatever it is. That is not a unicorn. Come on. Come on. No way. No. I'm not buying that. Let's zoom this in. Let's do a bit of forensic photo analysis, shall we? Nah, not buying that. Look at this here. That there's all photoshopped in. That's photoshopped in. That there looks... That's definitely photoshopped around there. That? What the hell? Please tell me it's going to say that's an artist's impression. Please. It doesn't actually say. Now, the next one is kind of gross. I've heard about this one before. The Fatberg. Now, admittedly, most people in Scotland, their dinner's covered in something that looks like that. I'm not a big fatty man myself, as you can see from my rather lean pickings. But it says workers from the South West Water Company which manages sewers throughout England, were perplexed when a 100-foot, a 64 metres long fatberg was discovered beneath Sidmouth, England, a small seaside town of around 13,000 residents. Now, curious to understand how such a large blockage formed in such a quiet, sparsely populated area, they had a team of 10 scientists perform an autopsy on the mass. Holy shimoly. Dang, dude. So, number 5. Ancient home burials. I'm pretty much thinking that's like it says on the tin, right? Old uncle pops his clogs and just shove them under his bed. I don't mean literally under the bed, like maybe dig a bit of a hole. We'll see. In late March of this year, archaeologists solved a long-standing mystery with the discovery of human remains inside ancient homes at the Neolithic Catalhoyuk settlement in Turkey. Now Turkey, obviously very, very interesting when it comes to archaeological studies, because it is home to one of my favourite mysterious locations. And that is, of course, the much talked about Göbekli Tepe. How can you not just sit back in awe of something like that? The world's first temple. We'll come back to that because we were talking about this scary location, right? So it says the 9,000-year-old site. 9,000 years. Which was inhabited from 7500 BC to 5700 BC, and which was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2012. Has long hosted archaeologists. Now, it talks about the ancient burials, and it doesn't really talk about it. But there you can see it. Dang, dude. So this is like some ancient, they call it a burial home, but graveyard? Potentially, is that not what we would call it now? Number 4, a creepy cinema. In Paris in 2004, police announced the discovery of a subterranean cinema beneath the city's 16th arrondissement. I hate that word. I hate it. Anytime anything happens in France, I just call it that area. Officers from the Sport Squad, which patrols Paris's 117-mile network of underground caves, tunnels, and catacombs, found the mysterious makeshift movie theatre during a training exercise. They entered the network through a drain pipe and were met by a tarp bearing the words "building site, no access." Now, I don't think it looked like that. Can you imagine if it did? Holy shimoly. Talk about an underworld. It must be where all the aliens and things hang out, right? But no, pretty cool. Like a whole different world under it. It makes you wonder as well. Let's just talk about that. Top 3 coming up, but it makes you wonder how many times we have built up, right? I mean, yeah, we're told. I'm not here to kind of spin some pseudoscience and just disagree with science for the sake of it. I know it's in vogue. It's kind of cool to do that. I don't roll like that. But it does make you wonder. It does make you wonder just how many times we've been here to do this, right? And I get it. You know, you can go back and you look at all the historical stuff that we think we know. But what about the stuff that we don't know? Is story. History. Yeah. Somebody tells you. And sometimes they don't tell you the full story. Like any story. So back to this. Number 3 is bog butter. I'm feeling sick already. I'm just picturing a tub of flora in a toilet, but I don't think it's going to be that. Would you eat centuries old butter? Blech, no. I wouldn't even, a day out of, like, no, a day out. No, not even eating that. Me neither. But people do unintentionally stumble across it sometimes in Ireland and Scotland. Now, hang on. Hold the horses, or hold the unicorns here. I've never heard of anything called bog butter in my life. And up in the Highlands, it's a boggy place, right? We burn peat That's a fossil fuel, dig it out the ground. So I've never heard of anyone stumbling across like ancient butter right enough. Usually while they're digging to peat to heat, or digging up peat to heat their houses with. Known as bog butter, this substance is typically made from cow's milk or beef tallow. People buried it in peat bogs inside wooden containers or earthenware pots, or wrapped in animal skins. Okay, so they forgot to go back for it. Nobody's ever tried to eat centuries old butter. And how do you know it's butter? Did they leave a little recipe? Did they leave a message on it? It could be after 9,000 years. I pretty much think it's going to look a little butt. No, you're not eating that. You ain't eating that. Number 2. Oh, goodness gracious. This is going to spark a bajillion horrible stories. International smuggle tunnels. Not moles. There are so many tunnels between the US and Mexico, but there are actually a special task force to find them. Now, in March of this year, the San Diego Tunnel Task Force announced their discovery of a sophisticated international drug smuggling tunnel linking a warehouse in Tijuana, Mexico, to a warehouse in San Diego neighborhood of Otay Mesa. You'll probably find that was Chapo. Probably Chapo. He was a bit of a whiz when it came to like doing tunnels and stuff like that. If you haven't watched any of those Narcos shows, I would say you can get them on Netflix, but we've all cancelled that now, right? Right? I hope you have. I know it broke my heart. So, number 1, mummified lung. Oh, that sounds like something I cough up every morning. I can show you that if you like. Nah, don't worry. I'm never going to show you that. Lung butter. These two kind of go together, right? Bog butter and lung butter, or a mummified lung. In Paris in 1959, archaeologist Michael Fleury, archaeologist, he uncovered an oddly preserved lung. I can't do that for a full paragraph. An oddly preserved lung from a stone sarcophagus in the Basilica of Saint Denis, where French kings were buried for hundreds of years. Along with the lung were a skeleton, some hair, jewellery, and textile, and leather fragments. The remains belong to the Merovingian Queen Arneguinde, one of the King Clotaire I's 6 wives. Lucky guy. I can barely handle one, and it's not even my wife. She lived around 515 to 580 AD, and during the 1960s, Arnegunde's body vanished and did not reappear until 2003. Did it like do a whole kind of David Copperfield thing? Did it just disappeared out of there? And just one day just reappeared? Or did somebody like do off with the kind of corpse and keep it in some kind of room in their house for 43 years until somebody thought, this is just stinking the place up, clutter, just put it back with the rest of the body, Weird, a mummified lung. Check that out. Holy shamoly. Now, I know you can't really get any scale there, but I'd say she probably had COPD with the length of that thing. I dare say COPD probably wasn't diagnosed back in the 1600s. I get it. I get it. But very interesting nonetheless. Wonder if we were to attempt to mummify something today, I wonder if we would actually have the same success, and whether it would last, whether it would literally preserve things the way that we see from ancient times. Some of these mummies that they get, it's uncanny. It's truly uncanny just how well preserved they are. I believe somewhere over in Asia, there's one of it's either a religious leader or one of the country's leaders, can't remember, but it's like they're in a glass case. They're just there, like in a glass case for all the world to see. I always used to joke when I was younger, when I passed away, I wanted stuffed and stood somewhere pointing at something but looking in another direction, just to really confuse people in years to come. They would think, well, who the hell was this guy? And then they'd be looking, well, what the hell is he pointing at? It'd be like a cool little mystery. I could become my own woo on a podcast in the future. That'd be kind of quantum, right? Just a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to shove on the tunes. I'm going to get a drink of coffee. I'm going to refresh the throat. Because one of my lungs looks like that. No, I'm only joking. It's not that bad. Mate, you squint your eyes, it looks that bad. But I'll be back in a moment, and I want your woo. I want you people to tell me about things. We'll go and dig it up. We'll do it live. We'll do a live dive right here before we go and get Scotty Lopez for Freaky Friday. And all I need is about 15 minutes. So we'll stay here for another half hour or so. And then I can't stay on the stream because I don't know if you know how YouTube works on the back end. There's like a key that you put in. So I'd already set up Freaky Friday, which has got its own key, a unique key. I've got the identifier, I've got the key and the secret. That was a great song. Remember that song? Probably only people in Britain of a certain age can remember it. But yeah, this is a totally different key, totally different stream. So I do need to stop. And let's face it, that gives you all a chance to go and get some coffee, go and get refreshed, build yourself a PPP. You lucky gits, if that's what you're so inclined to do. But chill out, kick back, relax. I'll be back in about 2 minutes, and we'll get into it. I want to see what you've got to say. Oh! Now, I missed a couple of people out, obviously, because I see Lisa Rue in there now. Lisa, I don't know if you were here earlier on. I hope you weren't, because I said I really should pay you and some of the other people in Discord for the fact that yous all run it. I've got the easiest job in the world, me. I just turn up, I talk. Everyone else is doing the hard work. I tell you, I'm feeling a bit selfish here. That's why I'm going to put in more and more time, more and more streams. That means more and more woo for all of you. Let's kick it. Whoa, hang on a minute. Look, Sniff, what is your problem? What is your problem? Look, just because I don't go about copy-pasting, I'm not a copy-pastian. I'm not a copy-pastian. You're obviously a copy-pastian. You know, I've got my relationship with my God. I don't need to shout about it. Don't need to shout about it. I don't need to impose harsh rules on myself about what I do and don't look at, because in the end of the day, I'll be judged by the same person you're judged by. And I don't think they're kicking about checking all your religious virtue signaling on social media or on YouTube. So have at it. Have at it. But I don't know why you come here. So to that end, bye. Bye. These copy-pastians, I tell you, they think they are better than everyone else. You know, I don't think the big guy upstairs rolls like that. I really don't. Does that mean, here's a question for people, right? Does that mean if you're born somewhere, say you're born a Bedouin or somewhere out of the way, why aren't you out my chat? I removed you. There you go. Bye. Does that actually mean that if you grow up in the wrong location on God's earth, because you've never met anyone that has a Bible, but you live 70 years, and all you do for those 70 years is do good things, you help people around you, you never wrong anyone, you never get into any debt with anyone, does that mean that you're going to go to hell just because you weren't born in the right place? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So, listen, seriously, I don't know what these people's problems are. We'll all have to answer to something or someone in the end of the day, or we won't. I'm pretty sure we're all here to enjoy ourselves. And I tell you what, all of these kind of things, you know. I'd love to say, I'd love somebody to show me it in the Bible where it says, "Thou cannot take part in harmless conversations that don't harm anyone." Because if that's in there, there's a good chance I'm out, and I don't need a Bible. Nobody needs a Bible. Nobody needs a church. And if you've got to shout about your religion, then I think you're probably covering for something else. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, folks. I hate being judged by people who really are in a position to be judging anyone. Are they? I don't know. Oh, it's no crap Kev day. Boom. Yes, keep order. Exactly, Luna. Exactly. It's craziness. But it's okay because that person felt better about themselves because of obviously something that they're feeling guilty about. They'll just transfer it onto other people. Look at me. Look at how good I am. Look how religiously virtuous I am. Blow me. You know, if Bill Bean doesn't have a problem with my attitude and how I practice my faith personally, then really, who cares what anyone else has got to say, right? Because if I'm alright with Bill, I think I'm doing alright. But anyway, getting back into it, come on, what woo do you want me to look at, folks? What woo will we look at for the next 20 minutes while I take my levels back down again? I was waiting for one today. I was waiting for one. I'm glad they came. The wrath was waiting to be unleashed. Damn, dude. Oh, look at this. We're flying through a building. Oh, yeah.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
I'd say so. Probably eating into that genius's porn time anyway. They're probably away spanking their own monkey now, you know, like virtuous they are. So anyway, let's see, what will we get into? Exactly, Onslow. Exactly. My sentiments, exactly. I think he was a bit of a chill dude. I think he'd been tuning into the Kev Baker show, to be honest with you. You know, we don't judge people around here. Well, some of them. That one I kicked out, I kind of judged. But yeah, you let me away with that one, right? It's my stream, I can kick if I want. Anyways, we're entering a new age, just like in the past. Those pesky buggers, I got to reboot, whatever, control mechanism. And remember the other day, struck the troll with a bolt of lightning from upon high. Good shot, Kev. Yeah, even the big fella's probably having a laugh at that. He's probably thinking, damn, thank you. Never let anyone tell you about your... That's what annoys me, War. That's what annoys me, because I don't need to talk about it, but since we are, I can't say I pray every day. Most days, I say one before I go to my bed. Bill's got a warrior prayer that he gave me. Some days when it's just, you know, some of those weeks, I'll say it. I don't need to go and shout about it because it's for me. It's for what I'm doing. It's not for anyone else. Oh, look at me. I'm so copy and pasty, and look at me. I can copy big blurbs out the Bible and make myself look important. Well, good on you. Crack on. There's got to be better stuff to do with your time, right? War says, never let anyone tell you. Exactly. So what are we going to look at? We can't look at those types of gobblers or goblins, Cassie. not on this stream. Buzz, I'm not human. I will make a mistake, but I will admit it. I will not be fake. I won't let my ego pass the buck on. I'll be honest and then right the wrongs. Look at that, dude. I mean, come on. That's what I'm talking about. Why can't people come in and say things like that? And if they think I'm some kind of pagan, heathen, druid, demonic soul, well, so be it. Keep it to themselves. I don't mind. It's all good. We're all good in the hood here. Let's see, astrotheology. That is really interesting. And there's definitely some of that involved in it, John. Definitely some. All of these religious texts, for me, they line up too precisely with things that have occurred in the sky. That doesn't mean that none of the stories are true, in my opinion, but it's just my opinion. Who cares what I think? I don't care what other people think. You got to keep yourself right, folks. You know, I don't think any of us down here are perfect. And even if you are perfect, who the hell does that? How does that give you the right to judge anyone? Crazy. Buzz, you are very talented. You're up there with Kevin from Minnesota when it comes to stringing the lyrics together. And Buzz was asking me the other day about, with everything going on in the world right now, do I think other stuff will be going on? And I think all the bad stuff in the world goes on all the time, whether they're doing things or not, unfortunately. So I hope I answered you without sounding too off, Buzz, because sometimes when you're in text, me personally, when I read some of my messages back, oh, I cringe. It just doesn't convey the way that, you know, like the way you're trying to say something, but then you go back and you read it and you think, oh, holy heck, that doesn't sound the way I was trying to say it. But all good in the hood. Yes, and of course we're getting ready. Scotty will be with us very soon. It's your house. I'll take my shoes off and hope to be reviewed by the host. By my host. Yes, Lynn. Well said. You lot rock out there. Will we go to the... I know what we'll talk about. We'll talk about Göbekli Tepe. We were going to talk about that, right? That'll get my mind off it. I'm triggered. Let myself down there. Let myself get triggered. Shouldn't have done it. Predating Stonehenge by 6,000 years. Turkey's stunning Göbekli Tepe upends the conventional view of the rise of civilization. Now, I was watching a show last week before, called The Gift. Now, obviously none of us are on Netflix anymore, right? But if you are, up to you. Check that out because it's centered around Göbekli Tepe. And it's got multiple dimensions, many worlds going on. And at the very heart of it, central to all of it, almost like the how would you call it? Axis Mundi, like the center point of everything is right there at Göbekli Tepe. They almost call it like the womb of the earth in that show. Very, very interesting. And what baffles me even more is from what we know about Göbekli Tepe, what we see, what has been uncovered so far, it's not even a scratch on the surface, because I think I've heard some archaeologists say between 5 and 10% has been uncovered. And there's a bit of a kind of debate, bit of a fight to get the rights to kind of excavate the rest. You know why that is, don't you? Because they don't know what they're going to uncover there. They really don't know what they're going to uncover. And we've talked about Project Bluebeam a heck of a lot this year. Heck of a lot. It's going to be a site like Göbekli Tepe, or take a pen and write this down. It's going to be somewhere like Antarctica. That in the very near future, okay, I'll make a prediction. We're going to have some kind of archaeological discovery that's going to make people who aren't even interested in this stuff, they're going to be in awe. It's going to cause people to, whoa, they're going to have to rethink things. It's going to be massive. I'm not talking about some new T-shaped structure that they dig up. I'm talking about something none of us see coming. And it's quite weird because this is going to tie in with what myself and Scott are going to be talking about on Freaky Friday as well. I'll just read a little bit of this for maybe some of you don't know the story of Göbekli Tepe. But 6 miles from Urfa, an ancient city in southeastern Turkey, Klaus Schmidt has made one of the most startling archaeological discoveries of our time. Now, this was November 2008, folks, 12 years ago. Massive carved stones, about 11,000 years old, crafted and arranged by prehistoric people who had not yet developed metal tools or even pottery. The megaliths predate Stonehenge by some 6,000 years. The place is called Göbekli Tepe, and Schmidt, a German archaeologist who has been working here more than a decade, is convinced it's the site of the world's oldest temple. Could I alter that slightly, if I may, for Mr. Schmidt? It's the site of the world's oldest temple that we've found. Would that be fair to say? Because can we definitely definitively say it's the very first temple ever? I don't think we can rule out finding one somewhere else that might predate this. Because like I was saying earlier on, who knows how long our story goes back? Who really knows? Now, lucky that person isn't here anyway, because they'd have thought I'm lying, and there's nothing that's 11,000 years old to somebody like that. So, good riddance. It says, Guten Morgen, he says, at 5:20 a.m. when his van picks me up at the hotel in Urfa. 30 minutes later, the van reaches the foot of a grassy hill and parks next to strands of barbed wire. We follow a knot of workmen up the hill to rectangular pits shaded by a corrugated steel roof, the main excavation pit. So, if we go back. Okay, not Gob. Definitely won't get it with Gob. There we go. I'm telling you, we're lucky something dodgy didn't come up with Gob. Who knows what that could mean in today's world, right? But here we go. That's what we're talking about. That is what we're talking about. Damn, dudes. And there's the whole site, you see? That is, that's really, I mean, there's the main kind of pit there. This has been planted on. Imagine them coming in and planting on the area. Imagine them coming in and doing that, though. Then you've got this over here, stretches down there. And that looks like it could be pits that are getting dug as well. I don't know when this photograph was taken, right enough. Sorry, my caught the Discord there. It was flying up and down. I didn't know if it was anything for me. But yeah, Göbekli Tepe for me. I think if I was ever to get to the pyramids, which is my number one want to go to, like, destination ever since I was, like, that high. And literally, because I'm only 5 foot now, I was that high at one point. I was one of the little people that Jason talked about. But I would have to stop on my way back at Göbekli Tepe. And this here, we look at this here. This is crazy. This is crazy cool because this is a connection to Australia. This here. You know that? It is. So if I zoom in, you see these little baggies here? If Luna's in the chat room, Luna will know that this is definitely Australian, or at least been seen in Australia. That could even be the head of an emu when you think about it. I don't know. Where do we originally come from? I don't think it's out of Africa. I don't think it is. And you can go and check out the show I done with the brilliant Mammoth and Bruce Fenton. And both of which will be coming back on the show real soon. Because tomorrow I'm going to be diving into Bruce Fenton's newest book, all about extraterrestrials. I think it's called Exogenesis, to be precise. I'll dig it up in a moment. But I'm looking forward to that show when it happens. Some kind of scorpion type thing here. I mean, was this... is this just some kind of decorative feature? Something like that? Or is there a bigger story going on here? I'm going to come into the chat room, see what people are saying. Is Luna still in there? Donnie is. Donnie will know what I'm talking about. It will link to Australia. Yep. I think Luna might be gone, but yeah. The Anunnaki carried the same bags. Yeah, Karen, those little bags. If we go to Mesopotamia, I think that's it. Mesopotamia, there we go. Now we'll get into the images. Let's see. Let's see, because these little baggies do turn up here. Not in that one, no. Well, you can almost, I think you can almost see it in that one. Wait a minute. There it is there. You can just see the bottom of it. The top of it, sorry. So you've got one there. Let's see if we can find a better one though. Let's see. Get your bags out. I'm not going to find one now. It's going to prove me wrong, isn't it? It's just going to prove me wrong. The universe is up there saying, get up, you baker. You ain't getting this. It ain't happening. There's not one on that one either. Dang it. Dang it, dude. Dang it. No. Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, no. But you get my feeling, you get my drift. We've seen it before, right? Now I'm trying to cover for myself. We're not finding it. I get it. Making excuses on the way, on the fly. What we do. Nah. But I've definitely seen them in drawings like this. I don't know what. Whoa, that's a bit of a rude one. Damn, dude. Don't get off of there. What are you doing? Naughty. Eh? Bloody hell. Ah, there we go. Hey, there we go. Yep. I'm a determined little bugger, so I am. There it is. There's the bag. Now, one could make a case, or one could at least make the claim. Bags, tech, it's technology. So, if we look at this one then, do we think the bags mean that from these bags on top, came these beasties below? Were they delivered there by bag? Is it some kind of symbol for genetic manipulation? Creation? I don't know. I don't know. But very, very interesting. Very interesting. And like I was going to say, there's another option that we haven't really discussed here. And me being the wokest guy on the Kev Baker show, well, I'm the only guy in the Kev Baker show, it could actually be that he's just a...
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Look, how do we know? Look at him, man. He had like pretty kind of trimmed beard. The guy's got big wings on. He looks flamboyant. He might have been very flamboyant. And what about a man bag? How do I know it's a bag? Well, I'm just assuming it's a bag by the way it's been carried. And it's the way I've heard many other people describe it as well. That's as good as I've got for you, Polly. It's as good as I've got. And unless I can get a conversation with this big woke fella over here, I think that's about as close as we're going to get. What else could it be? It could be a pot. It could be a pot of water. It could be... I don't know, but he's looking like he's doing that whole walking like an Egyptian dance thing going on. I know it predates that kind of, but you get me. It's not even Cyrac. I get it, right? But you get me. What else could it be? Could be a battery. Yeah, could be. Batteries, yep. Car battery, absolutely. Could be power. Why not? I think it's there's no right or wrong answer because nobody knows the answer, you know. What's this big thing here that they've got? Because it's doesn't look like a weapon. It looks like it's got a little kind of cord on the bottom. So what is that? And then what are they doing over here? Weird, huh? Now this looks like a giant lever. Look, see how it goes to the floor and he's pulling it? Or he's holding it somehow? Is this dude gonna oil it? I don't know. You could look at these kind of things for hours and get totally lost in them, couldn't you? And then, if you look really closely, is this just decorative? Or is it text? Was it text at one time? Probably decorative, right? This wheel appears a couple of times. They've both got it on the wrist. It's up there. Does that depict the sun? I don't know. With a beard like that, I'm really starting to think he is very woke.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
I don't know. What's this thing coming out here? Damn, dude. Oh, man. Luckily, he's wearing a long enough frock, or else his mankles would be out. And you know what happens to me with mankles? I end up absolutely getting triggered. What's this? Kazi, this must be. I must be catching the tail end of like this story. But she says it's quite interesting. We'll just jump into this conversation here, right? Because Kazi, another Scotswoman, says Jules broke into somebody's house, naughty, to use their bathroom mirror so I could cover my face in foundation I'd scored from a shady character. I was desperate to cover my alien grey skin. It's a folded face mask. Could be. Why not? It could very well be. Absolutely. It was text on the stone carving. Yeah. It does look textish, doesn't it? It goes across everything. Can you imagine that's the kind of thing that'd be really cool, right? It'd be really cool if you were able to like go back in a time machine to when that was getting made. Imagine that. Maybe not to be physically there, even just to view it. Remember what Lon was saying about what sounded like an alien chronovisor, showing him a story from the ancient past. A ship coming down from the sky, actually setting up base camp in the water, and then the ship kind of turned into like some kind of island habitable thing. That's what he was showing. Is that where we came from? I don't know. That would definitely offend that person I kicked out if I'd said that, right? Oh, I'd have definitely been condemned to the fiery place. But I don't know. But isn't this a good way to warm up for Freaky Friday? Is it not? Usually I don't do an earlier stream. I usually just get ready, hang about, get Scotty, we'll chill out, we'll have a laugh, and then we'll do it. But I think I prefer it this way. Because now when I go and get Scott, I've already got my mojo on. I'm already ready to rock and roll. Ready. Not just ready, but ready. All right? Historic moment captured. Absolutely. Yaloo all, says Donnie. Donnie, I hope I'm not freaking you out. It's not that I fancy or anything, man. You know, me and you are definitely team hetero. But it's like I know you. Maybe Luna is who we need. Luna, what does this mean if I think I know Donnie? Should I be freaked out? Should Donnie be freaked out? Should we be happy? Yeah, Polly, I like it. I'm going to be streaming over the weekend as well. I am going to be streaming tomorrow. Usually take Saturday off, but why not? We'll throw on the stream. Might even be a bit earlier than normal so I can get out the way and, enjoy the night with Anne, find something to watch, maybe put on a movie. Just like the script, you must read the image from right to left. Yeah, they go the wrong way, don't they? Well, I say the wrong way, considering that it was probably the first way. It'd be the right way, right? So it does make you wonder what it all says. Probably say something like, thousands of years from now, people are just going to talk about this crazy mural that we're making. We're actually all high as kites on licking toads' bums, but they're going to think that this is like a magical watch, and There's going to be some guy in Scotland thinks I'm kicking about with a man bag. Maybe they were like cosmic jokers. I think that whole Egyptian thing's all about that. And is he an angel if they've got wings? Had somebody absolutely, adamantly, vehemently telling me that I was, yet again, a pagan the other day. Might have been that same person, actually. Different name, though. It's in the comments on the Lawn video. They can't understand how people can listen to me because I'm such a liar. On one hand, I believe in God, but the other hand, I believe in aliens, and I don't say that they're demons. I don't say they're demons because I don't think they are. I think if there's aliens up there, there'll be good ones, there'll be bad ones, there'll probably be in-between ones, there'll probably be ones like us that want nothing more than just a bit of woo. If you want to call them angels and demons, that's entirely up to you. But again, I got judged. Got judged for having a conversation. I tell you, they're all out to judge me these days. What is it they say? You don't get, or you only get heat when you're over the target. I don't think I'm over any target, but I think I'm obviously ruffling a few feathers out there. Winged people have got feathers. Maybe I'm ruffling winged people up the wrong way. But with that said, oh, you did, Polly. You did. You missed me snapping, man. You missed me kind of, whoa. I went off on one. Couldn't take it. Went to the break and then I seen it and I thought, nah. You don't get to truth signal or copy pasting yourself while I don't respond to it, you know. So yeah, I let myself down. Deal with it. I'll probably edit that part out of the video because I wouldn't want them to be going back and looking at their moment of glory where somebody finally actually acknowledged that they exist. But with that said, my good folks, looking at the time, I need to get out of here. I've got coffee to get, I've got a stream to set up, I've got things to talk about, I've got 3 hours of Freaky Friday with all of you. I hope all of you can make it. We'll be live on tfrlive.com. We will be live right here on YouTube as well. It's our one show that we simulcast for the week because we keep it woo over here and we keep it woo on Freaky Friday. So it's it's a match made in woo heaven for Scotty and Kevin. So join me very, very shortly over on Freaky Friday. In fact, all you have to do is head on over to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please do so. And you will find on there the link that you need to take you to today's Freaky Friday. And before we go, I'll even, because I'm a good soul, despite what some people say, I'm not a bad one. I'll get you the link. I'll tell you the things I do for you. It's just me trying to work off some bad karma, folks, because I'm such a wrong'un. Yes, indeedy. Oh, you're joking me. Well, we obviously said something in this video that the YouTube didn't like, but hey, that's okay. We can deal with that. Hang on, I'll bring up the Freaky Friday stream. Oh. Right, it says that I start Freaky Friday in 3 minutes and 33 seconds. It's going to be a bit longer than that. I usually put it at 5:2, so that I know that says PDT on there. But 5 to midnight, if not, it clicks into the next day and it wouldn't be a Friday technically. So I need to get out of here or I'm going to be talking to you the full time. Karen, Marty, Rose, War, good to see you. Christina, Cassie, Rick, Onslow, Luna, Zoe, Jules, Rose, Wingnuts, how you doing, man? Rick, John, Kazzy, Bruce. Did someone say bat? Oh, good day, Bruce. You've got the best name in the world, dude. You've got the Batman thing going on. You've got an Australian thing going on because you're called Bruce. I don't know. Christina, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Zoe, thank you. Donnie, Polly, Berean, Jen. Manbag equals portal keys. That's my cue. I don't think you can top that. I like that one. I do like that one. So join me in the blink of an eye over on Freaky Friday. I'm going to drop the link in the chat room right now. I will see you all there. Let's do it. Keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. Here comes your link, folks. You ready? Boom. Apologies for flipping out on that person earlier. I apologise, folks. Not to them, to you. It's spoiled. It took away 3 minutes of woo. Definitely improved the music, right? See y'all soon, folks. I'll get you on Freaky Friday. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for just being you. And like CW Chanter says, I'm going to steal it from him. Thank you, CW. I love you all. So if you haven't been told today that you are loved, you have now. I'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.